Okay, so we're talking about planning and organizing work. Think about, so what they've asked is think about an example or examples. So really they need two examples, or it needs to be amazing if there's one. So think about an example of when you have managed a team to meet the organizational or project objectives. If you do not manage a team, think about an example or when you have managed your own work activities to meet organizational or project objectives. So this section is about how well you plan and organize and monitor your work activities and methods. So in my case, I would use, I'll look at a list of all my upcoming projects. I'll look at the postcodes. Where are they? Sometimes I have about 35 projects on the go. So I need to know where they are, and in order to manage the quality of the project. So my site visits. So I need to what's realistic and practical. But I would have pre-construction meetings with and we'll go through the specification and make sure there's clarity, there's no confusion or misunderstanding on what's on the spec. We'll be looking at the drawings, the measurements. Would they be asking the contractor if there's any challenges with materials? And right now with COVID-19, a lot of merchants has been closed down. So where some shops are open, there's quite a bit of traveling to be able to obtain these materials. And now the primary material that we need is PPE. So be able to gain PPE and have discussions on how they will tackle going on site with vulnerable residents, clients. How will they carry out the work? What PPE will they have? So again, so it says here, set objectives and measure performance. I personally like to have a KPI. On my bigger projects for extensions, I do a weekly report. When I visit the properties. So I'll upload the pictures and see and make notes and annotate each part of the build. Within that report, I do KPIs. On smaller projects that take about a week, it's very difficult. I've got about 35 projects and varying. I've got 10 contractors. They need to have eight jobs, but as time goes on, sometimes there's about 35 to 40 projects on the go. So what I do with the smaller projects, I do visit them, but I probably will not have the time to write a clerk of works report, a formal report, but I will take pictures and make notes on the system, on the CRM system. And with that, I also when we do a customer survey, when it's a handover, but with quality assurance, we'll ask the client how the project went. I'll also do KPIs of the quality of the work, so I will measure that. So they are informed. Also, what we are doing is giving the contractor a tick sheet, so they understand how we're measuring their performance. So C is built team relations to carry out the work planned, including identifying training needs within the team. So in my regard, I've done project management courses. I listen to podcasts. I also read read books on the matter, on construction, even media such as YouTube, or to remind myself and to keep sharp on how to build an extension and what's required. Things like ultra flooring, I look at their guides. I look at also the guides for the fans. So I explored websites for that. So when you're doing this, you've got to think about the circumstances. So you've got to think about the scenario and then what action took place. Then what was the result of that action and what did you learn? So write your learning experience.